What if just a glass of water charged under the moon could multiply your money faster than any job ever did? You work hard, you save a little, but your money just sits there, growing slow, losing value while bills keep piling up. And the truth is, you feel like wealth is always out of reach. But here's the secret. Wealth doesn't only grow from effort. It grows when you align energy with strategy. The moon charges your intention, and the right savings account compounds it into real results. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly how a glass of moon water and one simple financial move can turn your savings into a river of abundance. What if a simple glass of moon water could multiply your money? Think about it. Every month, the full moon rises in the sky, glowing with a power that has fascinated humanity for thousands of years. Farmers once planted by it, sailors navigated by it, mystics prayed under it. The moon has always been a mirror, reflecting not just light, but possibility. And water, the element of life, has always been seen as a carrier absorbing, holding, transmitting energy. So what happens when you combine the two? You get moon water, a practice as old as time, where water is left under moonlight to charge with energy, clarity, and intention. Now here's the question. Could something so symbolic actually affect your money? Most people wake up stressed, check their bank accounts with dread, and feel stuck in a cycle of bills, debts, and low savings. They've tried working harder, taking side jobs, cutting back on little pleasures, yet still, money feels tight. But what if the missing piece wasn't more effort, but more alignment? What if the way you start connecting your energy to your money could change the way it flows toward you? That's where the moon water ritual comes in. It's not about magic in the sense of superstition, it's about focus. When you place a glass of water under the moon, you are making the conscious choice to stop, to align, to declare that you are ready for more. It's about shifting your energy from lack to abundance, from fear to gratitude. Every sip becomes a reminder, I am flowing with wealth. But here's the twist. Rituals without action don't transform reality. That's why this practice becomes powerful only when you pair it with one of the smartest financial moves you can make today: opening a high-yield savings account, HISA. Traditional bank accounts in America often pay you less than 0.5% interest. That's almost nothing. Your money sits there, stagnant, barely growing. But with an HISA paying 4% or more, your money multiplies quietly, in the background, without any extra effort from you. The moon charges your spirit. The HYS grows your balance. One works on the invisible plane, the other on the visible. Together, they create a system where your energy and your finances move in the same direction. So when you ask, can a glass of moon water multiply my money? The answer is yes, if you let it. It multiplies your focus, your belief, your gratitude. And when you combine that mindset with the practical tool of a high-yield account, suddenly your savings grow faster, your money feels lighter, and your relationship with wealth transforms. This is the opening of a new chapter for you. A chapter where abundance isn't just a dream, but a habit. Where wealth isn't just numbers, but flow. And it all begins with one glass of water under the light of the moon. The promise of this ritual is simple, yet powerful. When you charge water with moonlight, you align your inner world with energy, gratitude, and abundance. When you place your money into a high-yield savings account, you align your outer world with growth, safety, and discipline. One changes your vibration, the other changes your numbers. Together, they create transformation, because wealth is built when energy and strategy meet. The moon has always carried the symbolism of cycles. It waxes, it wanes, it disappears, and then it shines again in full glory. Your financial life also works in cycles. There are times of spending, times of saving, times of scarcity, and times of abundance. The promise of moon water is that you can harmonize with these cycles instead of fighting them. By charging water under the moon, you're programming yourself to flow with nature, to trust that abundance also has cycles and that your phase of growth is always coming. But the mystical side alone is not enough. That's where the high-yield savings account, HISA, comes in. While traditional banks keep your money practically asleep, an HYS puts it to work. Imagine you deposit $1,000 into a regular savings account that pays 0.01% interest. You'd barely make a few cents in a year. But in a 4% HISA, that same money earns you $40 in the same time frame. It's not about getting rich overnight. It's about letting your money multiply steadily, without extra work, while you stay aligned with your goals. Here is the promise. If you combine these two forces, the ritual of moon water and the discipline of saving in a high-yield account, you create both momentum and magnetism. The momentum comes from consistent saving. Every dollar you put into the account compounds, attracting more. The magnetism comes from the ritual. Every time you drink moon water and declare gratitude, you are telling yourself and the universe, I am safe, I am growing, I am abundant. Think about what that means emotionally. No more feeling like your money disappears the moment you earn it. No more opening your bank app with dread, wondering if you have enough. Instead, you begin to see your account slowly growing, the numbers rising, your confidence building. You start to feel like you're in partnership with your money, not in battle against it. This is the true promise, peace. Because wealth without peace is never enough. The moon ritual gives you calm, trust, and connection. The savings account gives you proof, results, and stability. Together, they create not just financial progress, but financial harmony. So if you've been waiting for a sign that things can change, that you can grow money without endless struggle, this is it. A glass of water under the moon and a simple account choice could be the two steps that shift everything. That is the promise. Multiply your money by multiplying your alignment. Emily always felt like money slipped through her fingers. No matter how much she earned, by the end of the month her bank account always seemed to fall back close to zero. She wasn't reckless, she paid her bills, avoided big splurges, and even tried cutting back on small things like coffee and takeout. But nothing seemed to stick. The numbers in her account refused to grow, and every time she checked her balance, she felt frustration rising in her chest. One evening, while scrolling through videos online, Emily stumbled across the idea of moon water. It sounded strange at first, placing water under the moonlight to charge it with energy, but something about it resonated with her. She thought, maybe I need a ritual, something physical, to shift the way I think about money, so she decided to try. On the night of the full moon, Emily poured water into a glass jar and carried it out to her balcony. The city around her was buzzing with noise, but when she looked up, the moon was clear and bright. She placed the jar down, closed her eyes, and whispered, "My water flows into wealth." For the first time in weeks, she felt calm. There was no stress, no anxiety, just a strange but comforting sense of connection, as though she had placed her intention into the universe. The next morning, she drank half of the water with gratitude. She imagined it flowing through her body as abundance, filling her with trust instead of fear. With the other half, she watered a small plant on her windowsill, seeing it as a symbol of growth. It wasn't magic, but it felt grounding. But here's where Emily made the shift that changed everything. Inspired by the ritual, she realized she needed a practical step to match her intention. She researched and discovered high-yield savings accounts, HYSAs. Unlike her old bank account, which paid practically nothing, these accounts offered around 4% APY. For the first time, she understood that her money didn't have to sit still, it could grow. Emily opened an HYS that week. She set up an automatic transfer of $50 every payday. At first, it didn't feel like much. But every time she deposited, she repeated her moon water affirmation, "My water flows into wealth." She began to see the numbers in her account rise, not dramatically overnight, but steadily, quietly, like the waxing of the moon itself. After a year, Emily had saved $2,000 in her HYSA, something she had never managed before. The interest she earned may have seemed small, but it was more than she'd ever received from her regular account. More importantly, her mindset had shifted. She no longer felt like money slipped away. She felt like it stayed multiplied and supported her. Her friends noticed the change, too, not just in her finances but in her confidence. Emily would smile and say, "It started with a glass of moon water." But the truth was deeper. It started when she combined ritual with action, energy with discipline. Her story proves this: when you align gratitude with strategy, money doesn't just appear, it grows, it flows, it multiplies. If there's one thing many Americans overlook, it's the power of choosing the right kind of savings account. Most people keep their money in traditional savings accounts at big banks, the same accounts their parents or grandparents used. The problem? Those accounts often pay 0.01% to 0.05% interest per year. That's basically nothing. You could leave $1,000 in a regular account for a whole year and end up with only a few cents in interest. In other words, your money sits there doing nothing while the bank profits from it. Now, let's compare that with a high-yield savings account, HISA. Many online banks and credit unions in the U.S. currently offer 3.5% to 4.5% APY, annual percentage yield. That means if you deposit the same $1,000, in a year you'd earn about $40 just from interest. And if you keep adding to it regularly, those small amounts of interest begin to snowball. It's not about becoming rich overnight. It's about making your money work for you, quietly and consistently, in the background. Think of it this way: every dollar you put into an HYS is like planting a seed. In a regular account, the seed sits in dry soil, never sprouting. But in a high-yield account, the soil is rich. It nourishes the seed, helps it grow, and multiplies what you planted. Over time, that difference becomes huge. Here's why HYSs are so powerful in the American financial system. They're safe. HYSs are typically FDIC insured, or NCUA, if it's a credit union, which means your money is protected up to $250,000. There's no stock market risk. You won't lose your money. They're liquid. Unlike investments, you can still access your cash quickly if you need it. That makes them perfect for emergency funds or short-term savings goals. They compound. Interest isn't just paid once, it compounds, meaning your money earns interest on the interest it already gained. Over time, this creates exponential growth. They build discipline. When you open an HYSA specifically for savings, you separate it from your spending account. That separation makes you less likely to dip into it casually. Practical steps. If you don't already have an HISA, start by comparing offers from online banks like Ally, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or Discover, as well as fintech apps that provide high-yield options. Most of these accounts are free to open and require no minimum balance. Then, automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer every payday, even if it's just $25 or $50. The consistency matters more than the amount. Pair this with your moon water ritual. Every time you place water under the full moon, remind yourself, "I'm charging my savings with energy." And every time your automatic transfer hits your HISA, remember, "I'm charging my savings with discipline." One fuels your spirit, the other fuels your account. The tip is simple, but it's life-changing. Don't let your money sleep in a dead account. Move it into a high-yield savings account and let it grow. When you combine intention with the right system, your money finally starts flowing in your favor. Water has always been seen as a sacred mirror of energy. It absorbs, it reflects, it carries memory. Ancient traditions believed that water could hold intention, that if you spoke words of gratitude or affirmation into it, those vibrations imprinted themselves onto the molecules. And the moon, equally sacred, has long been a symbol of rhythm, growth, and manifestation. Farmers planted their crops by moonlight. Healers performed rituals during full moons. And even today, we feel its pull in the tides. When you leave a glass of water under the moon, you're tapping into this timeless wisdom. water as the carrier, moonlight as the charger. Scientifically, water is responsive to its environment. Studies like those by Dr. Masaru Emoto, controversial yet fascinating, suggest that words and intentions can alter the structure of water crystals. Whether or not one accepts those results, there's no denying the psychological effect of ritual. When you take the time to set water under the moon, you pause, breathe, and connect. That act alone shifts your mindset from chaos to clarity. And when you drink that moon water with gratitude, you anchor the belief that you are aligning with flow, renewal, and abundance. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Let's connect this mystical practice to something incredibly practical: high-yield savings accounts, HYSAs. Just as water absorbs intention, your HYSA absorbs deposits. Just as moonlight amplifies energy, compounding interest amplifies savings. One is energetic, the other is mathematical, but both obey the same principle: what you put in multiplies. Think of compounding interest as the scientific moonlight for your money. When you place funds in a high-yield account, your balance doesn't just sit, it grows. Every month, interest is added not only to your original deposit, but also to the interest that has already accumulated. Over time, this snowball effect creates exponential growth. It may start small, like the first rays of moonlight on a glass of water, but it builds momentum until the results are undeniable. Mystically, moon water teaches flow. Scientifically, HYSAs teach discipline. Together, they balance your financial and energetic worlds. When you sip your moon water, you program your subconscious to believe, wealth flows easily to me. When you log into your HYSA and see the numbers rising, you program your conscious mind to believe, wealth grows consistently for me. Belief and evidence align. This alignment matters more than people realize. Many struggle because they operate in contradiction. They affirm abundance, but keep their money in accounts that don't grow. Or they save diligently but carry energy of fear and scarcity. The ritual of moon water plus HYSA closes that gap. Energy fuels belief. Numbers fuel confidence. And both together fuel momentum. So whether you believe in the mystical power of moonlight or in the proven math of compound interest, the truth remains: water and savings both respond to how you treat them. Respect them, charge them, nurture them, and they will multiply. That is the mystical plus scientific promise. What you align, you amplify. The beauty of the moon water ritual is that it's simple. You don't need expensive tools, complicated knowledge, or hours of preparation. All it takes is a glass of water, a few minutes of focus, and the willingness to align energy with action. And when you combine this ritual with the practical step of using a high-yield savings account, HYSA, you create a system that supports both your spirit and your wallet. Here's exactly how to do it. Step 1. Prepare your water. On the night of a full moon, or even the night before or after, when the moonlight is still strong, fill a glass or jar with fresh water. If possible, use clear glass, so the light can shine directly through it. Place the water on a windowsill, balcony, or outdoor space where the moonlight can touch it. As you set it down, pause for a moment. Whisper your intention. This water absorbs abundance. This water carries wealth. The act of speaking charges not only the water, but also your own mind. Step 2. Leave it overnight. Let the water rest under the moon until morning. As you go to bed, visualize the silver light pouring into it, filling it with calm, clarity, and prosperity. Imagine your financial stress dissolving into the night, and your savings beginning to flow as effortlessly as moonlight across the sky. Step 3. Drink with gratitude. The next morning, return to your water. Before you drink, place your hand over the glass and say, "My water flows into wealth." Sip slowly. As the water enters your body, visualize abundance flowing into your life. Feel it not just as hydration, but as alignment. This simple act transforms your mindset, reminding you that money is not an enemy, it's a partner that flows where gratitude lives. Step 4. Open a high-yield savings account. Now move from the mystical to the practical. Research high-yield savings accounts offered by online banks and credit unions in the U.S. Many pay 4% APY or more. Choose one that's FDIC insured and easy to access digitally. Opening an account usually takes less than 10 minutes. Think of this as creating a container for your wealth. Just as your glass held moon water, this account will hold and multiply your money. Step 5. Automate your deposits. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account into your HISA. Even $25 or $50 each payday adds up quickly. The key is consistency. Just as the moon returns in cycles, your deposits should come in cycles too. Over time, the balance grows, interest compounds, and your financial foundation strengthens. Step 6. Combine the two. Each month, repeat the moon water ritual. Each month, make sure your transfer to the HYSA goes through. As you sip the moon water, visualize your account balance rising. As you log into your HISA, remind yourself that the numbers are proof your ritual works, not just spiritually, but financially. By following these steps, you create a flow between intention and reality, between the mystical and the mathematical. Water holds your energy. Your HISA holds your wealth. Together, they remind you that money is not random, it responds to how you treat it. The beauty of the moon water ritual is that it's simple. You don't need expensive tools, complicated knowledge, or hours of preparation. All it takes is a glass of water, a few minutes of focus, and the willingness to align energy with action. And when you combine this ritual with the practical step of using a high-yield savings account, HISA, you create a system that supports both your spirit and your wallet. Here's exactly how to do it. Step 1. Prepare your water. On the night of a full moon, or even the night before or after, when the moonlight is still strong, fill a glass or jar with fresh water. If possible, use clear glass, so the light can shine directly through it. Place the water on a windowsill, balcony, or outdoor space where the moonlight can touch it. As you set it down, pause for a moment. Whisper your intention. This water absorbs abundance. This water carries wealth. The act of speaking charges not only the water, but also your own mind. Step 2. Leave it overnight. Let the water rest under the moon until morning. As you go to bed, visualize the silver light pouring into it, filling it with calm, clarity, and prosperity. Imagine your financial stress dissolving into the night, and your savings beginning to flow as effortlessly as moonlight across the sky. Step 3. Drink with gratitude. The next morning, return to your water. Before you drink, place your hand over the glass and say, "My water flows into wealth." Sip slowly. As the water enters your body, visualize abundance flowing into your life. Feel it not just as hydration, but as alignment. This simple act transforms your mindset, reminding you that money is not an enemy, it's a partner that flows where gratitude lives. Step 4. Open a high-yield savings account. Now move from the mystical to the practical. Research high-yield savings accounts offered by online banks and credit unions in the U.S. Many pay 4% APY or more. Choose one that's FDIC insured and easy to access digitally. Opening an account usually takes less than 10 minutes. Think of this as creating a container for your wealth. Just as your glass held moon water, this account will hold and multiply your money. Step 5. Automate your deposits. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account into your HISA. Even $25 or $50 each payday adds up quickly. The key is consistency. Just as the moon returns in cycles, your deposits should come in cycles too. Over time, the balance grows, interest compounds, and your financial foundation strengthens. Step 6. Combine the two. Each month, repeat the moon water ritual. Each month, make sure your transfer to the HYSA goes through. As you sip the moon water, visualize your account balance rising. As you log into your HISA, remind yourself that the numbers are proof your ritual works, not just spiritually, but financially. By following these steps, you create a flow between intention and reality, between the mystical and the mathematical. Water holds your energy. Your haisa holds your wealth. Together, they remind you that money is not random, it responds to how you treat it. Now it's your turn. You've heard the ritual, you've learned the financial hack, and you've seen how simple it is to start creating flow between your energy and your money. But none of this becomes real until you take the first step. And the very first step can begin right here, right now with your words. I want you to pause for a moment. Imagine a glass of water sitting under the moonlight tonight. Imagine the silver glow pouring into it, carrying calm, clarity, and abundance. Imagine yourself picking it up in the morning, whispering gratitude, and drinking it as if you're drinking wealth itself. Now imagine that same flow moving into your bank account, where your savings are multiplying in a high-yield account. Can you feel that shift? That mix of calm and confidence? That is what you're declaring today. So here's the challenge. Don't just listen. Declare it, anchor it with your voice and your action. Right now, scroll down and type these exact words into the comments. My water flows with money. Why? Because when you write it, you're not only programming your subconscious, you're planting a seed of intention in front of witnesses. It's no longer just a thought in your head. It's a vow you've spoken publicly. Every time you or someone else sees it, the energy strengthens. And when dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of people declare it together, that energy becomes unstoppable. Think of it as part of the ritual. The moon charges your water, the haisa multiplies your money. And this community, right here in the comments, amplifies your intention. You are not doing this alone, you are stepping into a stream of people, all flowing toward abundance together. And here's something even more powerful. Don't just type it once. When you see someone else comment, my water flows with money, like it. Reply to it. Tell them, yes, your flow is strong. Because the moment you encourage someone else, you multiply your own energy. Giving energy to others reinforces your own alignment. So let's make this a living ritual. Light your candle, charge your water, open your savings account, but most importantly, speak your vow. Right now in the comments, let it be known. My water flows with money. Say it out loud as you type it. Feel it in your chest. Imagine the flow moving through you and into your future. Because the truth is, your words are water, and water always finds its way forward. Don't leave this video as a spectator. Be part of the flow. The ritual begins with intention, but it expands when you take action. This is your chance to claim abundance, to anchor your purpose, to connect with money in a way that feels safe, supportive, and abundant. So comment it now, anchor it, claim it. And remember, every time you repeat these words, you're not just saying them, you're living them. My water flows with money. This is your declaration. This is your ritual. This is your wealth.